Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode here, where nothing is easy. Warriors and wenches, how y'all doing? And God bless. We are here to watch a video from Slandered Gaming, a not only a streamer but also a guy that likes RPGs just as much as I do, even the older ones, the old school RPGs like Pillars of Eternity, and even like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and even like Fallout New Vegas. We may have our differences, but we both like RPGs. But this one, he is making a video on the Gothic remake because he's coming in brand new, much like me. But he's sort of he has a video called Gothic Remake Controversy is Sad and Confusing, and we're gonna try to pretty much it's not gonna be, because I know how I am. I get it. I have my attitude, but today is gonna be more educational because I know Slandered will probably watch this, and we're gonna try to dive right into his video, and then I'm gonna, once he's done, we're gonna go ahead and just fill the information. So let's go ahead and do it. Well, actually, this is what we're gonna do, because of course he's seen his own video. So through each section, we're gonna talk.
Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. A couple of weeks ago, some screenshots were released for the Gothic remake, and it shows some female character models that were very different from the models used in the original Gothic game. This story has blown up on Twitter, on Reddit, on pretty much any avenue fans can use to communicate with the devs to make it clear that they're upset, they're not going to wishlist the game, they won't buy the game, and they're telling everybody who would listen not to do the same. Because
I think this one was Asmongold that says, any game that does this you can assume to be garbage. While there are exceptions, this is the rule. A decision made purely for political and social reasons that I can guarantee the players don't want. If you're making the change for the player, if you are making the change for the player, who are you making it for? I think he meant to say, if you're not making the change for the player, who are you making it for? You know, the whole modern audience thing. But let's continue.
supposedly the dev is sold out to corporate owners.
By the way, Shadowhunter was right. It's actually near Autonoma. Yeah.
They've gone woke, blah blah blah, etc etc. I waited, and actually I was not going to cover this, but again it has continued to go on to the point this even came up in my stream last night, and I've been watching the developments, waiting for this to die down. There's no sign it's going to die down anytime soon. In fact, the devs directly responded to this situation, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. But first, let me just say something. Part of the reason I didn't cover this previously is because I am fully aware I am a visitor when it comes to Gothic. There are other gaming communities where I'm like, hey, I own this space. I own the BioWare space. I own the Owlcat space. I own the Obsidian space. And to be honest with you, I feel like I own the Warhorse space. Like, I've done a lot of content on those games. So when drama comes up in those particular situations, I feel very, very comfortable covering it. But when it comes to Gothic, I understand that, hey, I've never played the original games, and I've only done 1 or 2 videos on this remake, so I don't have a whole lot of cachet in that space. And so I'm very, very careful about just coming in when there's drama or some sort of issue going on. But
which is actually pretty fair, because if you're coming in brand new, mostly kind of like me and Slandered, when we come into somebody else's space, we want to be cordial and we want to understand your reason for liking this sort of thing. A perfect example, Slandered, I think you would agree with me, is Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k is not for the faint of heart. It is the grim dark. Warhammer is not about holding hands with aliens. It is about killing aliens. It is not about togetherness. It's about duty and bloodshed and war. It's not all this like you know, the fluff that you usually see in some of these newer Obsidian games. Now, he did say that he's more in the Obsidian space, and I am too, but more in the old Obsidian space. He might like, you might like Outer Worlds 2. For me, I think I'm out of the Outer Worlds thing. It's just not for me. But Pillars of Eternity, I don't like Avowed at all, but Pillars of Eternity, I think me and Slandered can agree on. But when we're talking about Gothic, when I played this game, I knew exactly what it was. It was dark, it was gritty, it was messed up. It is a place of pure tension. They basically had mages make a giant barrier filled with prison inmate men. You see what I'm saying? You just put a giant barrier over inmates, prisoners, regardless of whatever they've done, you know, to get into prison, and they're in this dangerous ecosystem between all these different factions and orcs, and they're doing a whole thing where they're trying to make a deal with the king outside the barrier, where they transfer ore over to the king and they bring them goods. One of the things being the goods, because they are goods, is the women. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Again, this has kind of gotten to the point that it's being seen and it's clear to a bunch of people who are not actually a part of that community. And so I feel comfortable going ahead and covering it. Now, before I get deeper into my own personal thoughts regarding this, let me go ahead and give you some more context regarding what is happening. So in the Gothic game, there's this tyrant lord named Gomez, and he controls the mining of magic ore. Now, there's a king of the whole land where the Gothic game is based, and he's in desperate need of this ore because he needs to make more magic weapons to fuel his ongoing war against the orcs. And so he's basically negotiated a deal with Gomez where Gomez will send him a bunch of this magic ore, and in return the king will send him female slaves that he can essentially.
They did this main character so well. They did this main character so well to a T. They did the main character so well. And you see the women. We'll talk about it later. Let's move on.
Use however he wants. Now, in the original game, these women had, for the most part, large chests, and they were basically half naked. It was.
Yeah, they were half naked and they looked attractive. And of course, it's lower graphics, so the faces don't, it's take it or leave it. You do the best what you can, but you know when you're going to see a remake in 2025 or 2026, you're going to be like, oh, they're going to make it even better. We'll talk about that in a minute.
It's very, very clear that they were present for sexual purposes, right? Whereas in the
sex slaves, just say it. Just say it. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Updated version of the game, they're much more buttoned up. There are many people who.
He skipped. Slandered, I know you skipped it. I know you sipped it. You said way more buttoned up. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. You're correct. And I'm like, say something about the face, Slandered. Say something. He's like, listen, you got Martin Freeman from Sherlock Holmes on the right, and you got, I don't know what you got on the left side, but yeah, let's continue.
Are claiming that the women look mannish and
claiming Slandered. Slandered, you probably don't know this, but I do draw. When it comes to drawing females, depending on that female, whether they're like either white or Asian or, you know, Middle Eastern or something like that, they have a certain type of neck. When it comes to females to males, the neck, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the face, the nose, and the roundness of the face, the cheekbones, these are important factors that not only I see, but also these developers. So for me, it's either one of the two. You're either doing it on purpose or you're not that good at it. It's either one of the two. So that's the part that that we will talk about here a little bit later. But the goal, because this is a remake, the goal is to make them look like sex slaves. You don't want to bring ugly sex slaves to the prisoned men. I'm just saying, it's a brutal, dark world. This is dark fantasy. This is dark fantasy to a T. If you bring over ugly women over to the prison-infested, caged up men, they're going to be killed. I mean, they probably will be used, but they're going to be killed, and they'll get pissed and be like, why are you sending me these women? Now, of course, I'm making a joke, obviously. But basically, to my point is, I know modding is going to take care of this, but we don't want to deal with mods. There's a lot of people that don't want to deal with mods. I don't care about mods right now. What I care about is the fact that the developers have a strict code of conduct when it comes to remakes. Have you seen Oblivion, the remaster? I believe, man, I should have brought this up. There is a lot of changes to the way they have changed a lot of these the things in let me see. Let's go ahead and continue the video. I do want to speak on something though. Let's go ahead and continue.
And it doesn't make sense that someone of wealth and power and authority would choose them to have these sort of relationships with. And so basically people are like, this is censorship. You are covering up these women and trying to make them into a different role in order to appease corporate overlords who are trying to appease DEI standards, blah, 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 et cetera, right?
Well, don't blah, 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 blah over that. Otherwise, you're either siding it with it, or we want to be factual. This is not some sort of conspiracy thing. Even though we do enjoy the Oblivion remaster, this is what they changed, and they changed a lot. I'm just gonna show you a snippet, and I'll give you the video at the bottom of my video. I'll give you this video at the bottom of this recording. But basically, this is what changed. This was the statue that was inside Cyrodiil. It's a lady with a dress, and she has a bust size. However, they changed her completely to have no chest at all, and changed her whole look. Now, of course, you want to have a dynamic look, but they changed her whole look completely. That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about, where they change it for DEI initiatives. Let's get back to the video, because I do want to focus on what he's saying, but that is one of them.
That's basically the gist of this issue. Now, back on the 23rd, the devs did directly respond to this issue, and they said, we wish to make something very clear. We are right now being accused of pushing a political or social agenda on our game. We wish to assure you that we don't have any agenda of any kind. Anyone claiming otherwise is just purely wrong, as proven by our extensive catalog of over 150 published games on Steam alone.
That, when they mentioned their catalog of games, that didn't mean anything. When you say like, hey man, I'm not doing anything nefarious, check out all my work. And I'm like, that's great and all, but let's focus on this issue. I don't want to focus on all these other things that you published. Great, I think that's great, that's fine. But we're focusing on this remake right here. Because for me, I don't really like remakes, because remakes just means you're going to change something. And it also just means that you guys just don't have any ideas at the moment. It's like, oh, we could make something brand new, like a brand new IP, but why don't we just remake everything and and just pretend like we're actually like brand new developers. It's kind of like with Owlcat Games, but not. Owlcat Games doesn't make remakes. Owlcat Games reaches out to other IPs and then they make their own thing. That's cool. But for a lot of these developers, they do make remakes. And I'm like, that's fine, but let's see something new. And if you're going to do something that's a remake, you want to make sure that you have it to a T. Each and every one of these characters in this Gothic remake trailer look amazing. It looks tactful. It looks like they put a lot of detail towards it. But when you change something that has a lot of, let's say, this is not some sort of thing where it's like, it's a one-time thing. A lot of developers nowadays are doing the same exact same thing that they're doing under DEI initiatives. The same exact thing. They're tied to Embracer, and I'm about to show you what they're doing. Let's continue what they said, though. I apologize.
We are focused on making the best possible Gothic game, and everything.
And if they want to make it the best possible, why don't they just make the sex slaves attractive? It's not that hard. They've made everything good. It looks like they've done a great job. To change that one tiny thing and then get angry and upset and emotional on your Discord or Steam forum is very odd. I find it very odd. I don't know about you, but Slander, but it just saying, hey, why don't you just make them attractive? That's it. That's all. Make them attractive, bust size, everything. And let's not forget, as much as I know Slandered Gaming likes developers, some of us are kind of skeptical on developers. A lot of us are just tired. We had Todd Howard moments in the past, and now we don't anymore. There's no more, oh man, it's great to see Todd Howard. That's gone. Seeing Ubisoft do like things back in the day, before Assassin's Creed Unity, we'd be like, oh man, more Assassin's Creed. That's gone now. BioWare coming out with like Inquisition. That was great. That's gone now. So when you see developers that were great, and then they come back and they say, hey, we're doing this, and it's like an ongoing pattern of like, well, what is this? Like, I used to be that guy that I would know each and every developer. Now I'm just like, are you here to fuck with me, or are you here so I can have fun? That's my only two choices. I don't care who they are. I don't care about the developers. I only care about my enjoyment. Point blank, period. That's like the normal person thing. I care about my enjoyment. And if you take that enjoyment away from me, and then you belittle me, and then you turn me small, and you say, and then you put out this thing, why don't they just say, hey guys, you do have a point. Let me check out those characters that you were looking at. These characters right here, like this one. Which one is it? This one. This one. That is supposed to be a woman slandered. That one right there. You see the woman that doesn't look like a woman, but I think is a woman, right next to your character in Gomez? Please reach me in like halfway with this one. Like, these two ugly characters, yes, they're ugly. Oh man, they're horrifying. But this one, what? The only attractive muscular girl in the world is China from the WWF SmackDown. That's the only one. But this is not that. These ladies are supposed to be attractive. That's literally the character right there to the left. So you have to realize and be like, well, wait a minute. Why don't you just take that character that you see right there and then remake it? They've looked at all the other gentlemen's armor, your character's armor, your main character's armor, your first clothing that you have in this game, they remade it to a T. You see Gomez? You see the armor? Remade it to a T. Perfect. Other characters, the armor on some of these characters, remade to a T for the men. But for some odd reason, the females are completely changed. So when I look at this and see that, because that's what it's supposed to be, this is the art right here. You're supposed to do exactly what it's supposed to be. I mean, WoW also did the same thing. There were sexy pictures of characters in World of Warcraft. That is now gone. They replaced those pictures in World of Warcraft with something else. It's like, oh, we don't want people. This is not some sort of Gunnar game. By the way, when we're talking about Gunnar stuff, I think he's going to bring it up a little bit later. But you know what? I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna wait until he mentions it, because I want to talk about the whole thing about people being perverts or gooners and stuff like that. But yes, this is like a very tiring thing that I see. But this one right here in the middle is the biggest one. That's the biggest lady. But we'll get back to that.
We do has a reason in the game that will be made clear once you play, but there won't be any.
That's another thing right there. Let him slandered. I won't, because I know he's gonna see
alone. We are focused on making the best possible Gothic game, and everything we do has a reason in the game that will be made clear once you play. But
that part right there, I do not like, because it's like saying just play the game. Just play the game. It's like you do not want to force. It's like forcing your date's head down to your crotch. Don't force it. Why don't you, this small thing that they could actually change doesn't require some Discord thing, and it doesn't require any sort of forum thing. All you have to do is be like, so what would you like us to do? If they said that, I'd be like, hold up, guys. We might have some. We have a conversation, because you do need fans. You do need people to come over and enjoy the game. When you start doing this sort of, I'm being accused. If you feel like you're being accused, state what you're being accused of. And then they say we're being accused of doing a political social agenda. Why didn't they state it, slandered? Why didn't they state what they were being accused of? That's the biggest thing. We're being accused of something. Of what? So we can all understand. It's like, I think it's like, because I know Slandered has kids. Like it's like, hey, little brother hit me. And why did he hit you? He's like, he hit me because, he's like, well, what did you do? What all went down? You want to get the whole story, you know? Well, why are you guys hitting each other? What's going on? Before you start making any action. That's pretty much, you know, what you do before you go off and be like, yo, you hit your sister. I mean, nobody should be hitting anybody anymore, but you know, that's how siblings go. But you want to get the whole picture. It's like, what's going on in here? What's going on? And so when you come out and say something and leave a little bit of information out, it starts to not only warp and divide the fan base, but it also makes them a bit of a liar as well. Where it's just like, hey, we're being accused of censorship of these female characters right here. Do you guys think that we're censoring you guys? And then if they did like a reply thing in a comment section and said, yes, these characters should look voluptuous and attractive like in the previous game, the original game. And then if I was a developer, I'd be like, okay, we can work something out. Thank you for your time. Boom, done. And if there's any person in my dev team, if I was working there, if there's any dev team that's doing this sort of thing and coming and snapping at individuals and gamers and fans saying like something like this, where they said, which one was it? This one right here, where somebody said the game got modernized, rest in peace, Gothic. A person down here in the Steam mods moderated or closed the topic, and they marked this post as the answer and said, putting all these topics in one place because Jesus Christ. I don't know why he's bringing up Christ into this. It's okay, that's fine, but the emotion, you see it? So let me make this very clear to everyone. If you have real concerns about the models of our game, we are more than happy to hear from you in a constructive manner. This is toxic hostility, will not work, and I will purge the forums for it. So that's a bit of a threat right there. They're calling people toxic. He's like, they're saying pretty much this is not a real concern. How is this not a real concern? How is this not a real concern? This is the characters to the side. Who is this? This is an old man I'm seeing. This is an old man with shoulder blades. How is this a hot topic? So what would it take for them to have an actual conversation about something so simple? If I worked here and I was the boss, this person that put this post right here being emotional, I would fire them on the spot. I'd be like, hey, you're not supposed to speak in bad faith to our customers. Please leave or take a day off. And I would shut this thing down. We have shown time and time again that we listen to feedback. If there's so many of these forums that have said this is not just one person saying rest in peace Gothic. There's other people giving more definitive, actual constructive criticism on here. But I'm betting, and I'm betting wholly that they're not listening to them either. The people that say rest in peace, goodbye Gothic, by the way, it does not matter. It's not, as long as they're not calling for the death of anybody, it's fine. It's their opinion, and you should listen to your audience. By the way, Slandered Gaming, you were actually right. I want to take back what you said about that one young lady saying like kill yourself to like some BioWare fan like that. You were actually right. You're absolutely right. But what we should do for individuals that are upset about censorship and say, you know, why are you guys doing this? We should talk to these individuals. We should. And say, you know what? Let's get back to you on this. If everybody unanimously is saying this, wouldn't it be beneficial to the whole dev team, so they're not panicking or anything, to change the characters? Let's finish it. We have shown time and time again that we listen to feedback, so present your feedback in a constructive manner, and we listen. Now to all the trolls farming clown emotes, because they just post the same stuff on every game for clickbait, you will get removed real fast. Do you honestly think that saying this is gonna make less funny haha forums? It's like telling children to not like draw on the walls. It's like telling a whole bunch of like kids to in a cafeteria to calm down and be quiet. They're just gonna get louder, unless it's like, you know what I'm saying. They're trying to move an unstoppable force. And by the way, the gamers and the fans decide the success of video games. As much as I know you like developers and you want them to succeed, I would like gamers like me and you to have fun. We do not, I repeat, we do not want these developers right here to be our mother. Let me repeat that. We do not want these developers to treat us like we're kids or children. We want to have fun. This is why a lot of Eastern games are succeeding, because they just come out, release a trailer, and millions of people get hyped. There's no person going like, oh, well, we should change a little bit this because we don't want anybody to get, you know, horny. Listen, this is not only I'll get to that conversation later, but let's continue with your video.
But there won't be any form of censorship or effeminacy. Some characters have different roles, but the main theme and plot remains the same.
That they're basically saying that it's actually true right there. Some characters have different roles, but the main theme and plot remains the same. What does that mean? Let me repeat it. Some characters have different roles, but the main theme and plot remains the same. Why would they say something that odd? Is what I'm trying to say. It almost sounds like they're saying it's kind of meshed together with something with a different conversation, where it's like they're talking about not changing the remake, but they're also talking about the characters' different roles. But pretty much it's what I'm seeing from this, and I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But it seems to me like they're saying we changed something, but all in all, the game will pretty much remain the same. But after seeing these ladies, I don't know, man. Let's continue.
I find this issue confusing for a couple of reasons, because first and foremost, let me stay straight up. I do believe that as the issue stands right now, it certainly looks like censorship. Now, the dev is saying that when you actually play the game, it's going to be much more understandable what's going on. There are some people.
It's like saying slandered. It's like saying, bro, when you buy the game, woo, those girls are gonna be way hotter. You know what it's like a pyramid scheme. It's like, if you buy the game, woo, son, they might not be ugly. It's like, what do you mean might? Wait, what? Wait, bro, forget about all that conspiracy, but if you buy the game, bro, what? I'm just saying, if you buy the game, what are you talking about? Bro, if you just bought the game, bro, what? You might like what you see. And I'm like, are you gonna change the females? And I'm like, stop that. Stop. It makes, you're turning your every single person reading this like we're stupid. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, just buy the game. And I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Who basically believe that in the updated version of the game, the women are not going to be sex slaves. Essentially, they're going to be there for another role and purpose. I can guarantee you, the people who are pissed off now will still be pissed off if they find out them women ain't sex slaves the way they're supposed to be. All right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're making a remake, the only thing you're supposed to do is change a little bit of the combat to be a little bit more modernized, which makes sense because some of the you know, the controls with Gothic, the OG one, is kind of bad, but all in all, keep Gothic and just increase the graphics. Boom, done, money. Done. That's it.
All right, so I don't think that really makes it better. So, regardless, this is basically going to be viewed as a form of censorship where these women essentially had one role to begin with, and now in this updated version of the game, there's something completely different, much more respectable, and they dress in a much more respectable manner, and you've completely changed the tone of that dynamic theoretically to appease certain groups, right? I get that. And I can certainly get why some people who want to maintain the dark, grim spirit of the original Gothic game, which by all accounts looks like it's still going to be extremely dreadful for all the men in the game, but the women somehow are getting a better card dealt.
Well, I don't know the theme of where the women are gonna go in the game. I do know, however, right now, all we have is the visuals of these said characters are completely changed. If I remember correctly, these slaves don't say much. They just say, sorry, I'm with Gomez. I'm sorry, you can't talk to me. I'm Gomez's slave. And that's how short it was supposed to be. Like they knew, I'm gonna say it, they knew their place. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, bro? But basically that's how it is. The way they act is going to be one part. He's right. But for now, right now, the way they look is completely off. Let's continue.
I get all that, but I got two issues with this controversy that makes me really, really confused about why people are making such a big deal out of this. First of all, my understanding, never having played the games, is that you almost never talk to these women and they have no quest involved with them.
Oh, I understand that. And I'll let them finish. They don't care. They don't care. It has gone to the point where there has been so much censorship and changes to previous other games to the point where people are just at this point where they're just like 100 or 0. These are their only choices now. Because a lot of people they'll just play the original. Or they'll just play the backlog of their video games. Right now, developers have unequivocally made it to where people will just go 100 on a game or 0 on a game. And there will be some outliers going like, oh, there's nothing else to play, so I guess I'll play the Gothic remake. There'll be people like that play the game, and some brand new people. But you want that hardcore fan base because those individuals bring in the new blood. That's how I got into Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Because like, oh man, try it out. A lot of games that I've never played, you guys brought me into it, much like KCD and all that stuff. And you need that hardcore fan base. It's like, bro, play this one. Even with the mods, they'll just be like, hey, play this game, but don't play this game. Hey, play this version of Gothic, just don't play this version of Gothic because they fucked it up and all this stuff. They're hardcore about this stuff. And especially now. Because right now, a lot of individuals, that's why you see a whole coaster of people saying woke, woke, woke everywhere, because people are done. To where developers have just, you saw those notes that were on your screen and mine, where it's at this point where it's just like, why are they being an asshole to me? Why is this developer being an asshole to me? There's some things that I don't like in Baldur's Gate 3, but Sven Vinka treated me with respect. There's some woke elements in Baldur's Gate 3, but Sven Vinka treated me with respect. I 100%.
Right? Like you.
Oh, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's because I played Baldur's Gate 3 for 5 hours. The first 5 hours, I was wondering why every character was calling me a she or a female, and I'm like, what is everybody doing? I'm a man. Why is everybody calling me a girl? I had to look in my stats, after 5 or 6 hours of playing the game, and I just realized I picked they split sex and gender when we all know they should be together. It should be just one, just gender. So I was walking around as a man. I guess the body and the gender are split, and I was like, what the fuck? That's why? Because they split gender and sex? So I was mad about that. Did I still enjoy Baldur's Gate 3? Absolutely. Is Sven Vinka a really good developer? Yes. Did what he said at the Game Awards resonate with me? Absolutely.
You can try to talk to them in the original game, but they will tell you, you're not supposed to talk to me. You're not allowed to talk to Gomez's slaves. There are no quests involving them. There's no content involving them. They're basically window dressing while you walk around Gomez's palace or on your way to talk with them. And so therefore, getting all bent out of shape about how the window dressing looks is weird to me. It's
when you ask for ice cream with a cherry on top and sprinkles, and all you get is the ice cream, I guarantee you. Me too. I guarantee you to come back to the ice cream man and be like, where's the sprinkles? Where's the cherry? You know what I'm saying? I had a Sonic Ice Pop. And I was like, oh man, I love the Sonic Ice Pops. I love them because they taste good and it's got the little bubblegum eye drop in the middle. I opened that thing up. No gumball. Did I eat it? Yeah. Begrudgingly.
super weird, super odd. But let's put that to the side, right? Let's just say, hey, I know some of y'all are gooners. It's okay.
We're all gooners. Let's stop, okay? I see that wedding ring, okay? Okay? All right? I see. Listen, we listen. Okay? We're all gooners. I'm seeing some of these VTubers drooling and frothing at the mouth while looking at Blythe from Elden Ring, that giant wolf dude with the great sword. These deranged women are frothing at the mouth over a wolf, saying, I want to get bread and get his puppies and then put a collar around their neck. From women. I'm watching some of these women drooling over anime guys, or they're drooling over Eve from Stellar Blade. Okay? Everybody. Okay? We're all in this together. We're all, listen. You think you could make children with personality? My God, my nigga, you think you can make children with personality? Come on now.
You know, and to each his own. There's an even bigger issue here that I...
Also, another thing. A lot of video games came from attractive females and male characters. We have ourself Master Chief. We got ourselves Marcus and Dom from Gears of War. We have attractive characters like Miranda and Liara. We have all these attractive characters. We got Lara Croft, even though they made her ugly right now. Like literally, for example, like Lara Croft looks like this back in the day, looking good, right? And she looks like this now. Okay, she looks like this now. So this is, he knows.
I feel like it's not being properly dealt with. Last year, Piranha Bytes, who was the original developer of Gothic, went under. There's really no other developer trying to make games the way Piranha Bytes did. The closest you can maybe say is Ash and Steel, which just came out, but by all accounts, the reviews for that have been pretty terrible. And even people who like it a little bit more say it's an extremely buggy experience that does not feel complete. If it does turn out to be a cult classic and a well-liked game, at the very least, we're months away from that occurring, right? So as things stand right now, there's no other developer who is trying on a quality level to really deliver the Piranha Bytes experience. And this dev has decided to put in a ton of money and resources and credibility and cachet in providing the Gothic community with a remake of the original game and presumably remakes of Gothic 2 and maybe even significantly improving upon Gothic 3, which seems to be almost universally disliked.
If everything you said was true, then all they have to do is just make those characters attractive. That's it. Just make them attractive, make them sexy, make them wear sex clothing, and then boom, you're set. If we're not even telling them to change the whole game. Everything else looks fine. Everything else is doable. Change this thing right here, please. And when they come out and then they call us toxic and they call us like God, you guys are like weird, you think we're some sort of conspiracy, then please change it, please. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if they are riding on this thing to work, if I was working there and I was riding on this thing to work on day one, I would tell them to change those characters post haste to look attractive. And if any developer or publisher says no, I am going to let loose. Here's what I got to show you. Embracer owns that development team. They own THQ Nordic. This is what they got. Embracer's ESG and sustainability DEI. DEI means diversity, equity, inclusion. You already know this. To me, it means didn't earn it. When it comes to making it out there, I want that people to work hard with merit. I want them to be on here and make what they want to make, not make what, oh man, well we need to bring in this in the game. It's like, no, I don't want to put that into my game. That's not gonna fit with my game. That's basically what this is. It's like, oh, I want this person. Anybody got kids? Anybody got kids? If I was to have a kid, and this kid is, obviously gonna be black, and this person, and my kid wants to become a game developer. Listen closely now. My kid wants to be a game developer, and he finally gets the shot. He finally gets the shot to become a game developer, only to find out my kid is wondering, I'm not even done finishing doing my work. I'm not even close to getting good at game development. I haven't learned everything as being a game developer. I thought I did horrible in the tests, and only to come out and find out that they only hired me because of my skin color or my gender. Because a lot of this DEI initiative, if you haven't known yet, the DEI initiatives, they don't really hire black people. They pretty much hire white women. And I don't even want it to be that way. I just want people to hire people because they want to be there and they want to work to make it to a goal. If I had a son or a daughter and they said, oh man, I'm trying my best to join up with this team. I want to join this team. I want to work on this game. And I'm going to be like, hun, You better work your ass off. You better know what you need to do. You want to do programming? You want to do community manager stuff? You better put in the work. And there will be moments where he or she will lose. But at the end of the day, if he works at it, it'll be all the better for it because he or she made it on merit. It's like, yo, I work my ass off every day to make it here. I'm going to make the best of it. We got things like Donna Day is a day for women, trans, and non-binary. Does that have anything to do with video games? These direct quotes from source documents for your enjoyment. Through games and entertainment, we could potentially influence the perceptive and views of gamers in relation to various cultural and social topics, depending on our storytelling. This means that diversity and inclusion in games and entertainment, as well as digital well-being, are key matters to us. To them, embrace her. Not to the devs, embrace her. And you know about corporations. Me and you, Slandered, we know about corporations. EA, Ubisoft, they don't care. They don't care. Microtransactions, they don't care. Phil Spencer with like Matt Booty at Microsoft, they don't care. Are there individuals in the dev team that put this sort of stuff in? Veilguard. How did that go? You already know. And it says at Embracer Group, we believe that embracing differences will create more successful, joyful, impact, diverse, and inclusive games and entertainment. How about we just do it naturally and just bring in the people that want to join in? Sandfall Studios did that. They just brought in people that like feet. Okay, that was a joke. They just brought in people that wanted to have fun. The developers from Sandfall Interactive that did Expedition 33, he pretty much picked up people from Reddit. And he just said, hey, you're good with music? Yeah, I'm good with music. Okay, cool. That's how the music that you enjoy from Expedition 33 is there. He just reached through a forum and said, hey, I like your music. Yeah, come on in. We recruit and promote the best by considering competence and individual suitability. However, if there are two equally skilled candidates, diversity will be considered in the recruitment decision in accordance with applicable local laws. So, black girl, white girl, do you know who they're going to choose? They're going to choose the white girl. And so you ever have a feeling that people that talk about race and inclusion and all this stuff, and this is basically ESG and DEI is mom propaganda in video games. You do not want somebody to be your mom in video games. You want to make a dark, grim universe in your own game? Well, too bad. Mom just came over and said, there's too much blood, honey. That's what this is. DEI has nothing to do with devs. It has everything to do with the corporation and optics and, starts with an I. Investors. It has nothing to do with games. It has nothing to do with games.
You would think that is something very, very exciting that the community would want to protect. Like, Paul, I find the situation so odd because I don't see that happening at all. I don't see where the community is stepping in and saying, y'all need to chill out. Because let me be clear, this feedback that the devs are receiving, it's not the, hey, we think this is wrong, y'all should change type of feedback.
It is. It is. I saw the forums. That's clearly what it is. And also, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't literally have to be that. There's too many forums. There are too many forums and too many posts on here to say that all of those posts are just in bad faith or just bad. There's some people that are saying it's over, and there's some people that say rip bozo, but there's going to be individuals that write a paragraph saying please change this. But they're not going to listen to that. They just, it comes to a matter of people are attracted to negativity. And so they hop over. How come I've already heard the good faith arguments and the constructive criticisms from these individuals, but the developers haven't? Where they just come out and say like, hey, here's a paragraph of why you should probably change these characters. I'm pretty sure that they saw that, but they threw that in the trash with the rest of them.
It's the, nah, y'all done messed up. We're going to shut this whole thing down. We want this game to fail, and we want you.
They don't want the game to fail. They want the game to thrive. All you have to do, the gamers decide the success of the game. When they're done with the Gothic remake, the fans will still be there at the Gothic remake. There are certain niches in video games where actually every single video game, there's going to be a cult sort of following to it, and they like let's say there's KOTOR fans and people that like to play KOTOR, and then they hear about KOTOR remake, and those people that they're going to have a dislike for certain things with a KOTOR remake, but they'll still play old school KOTOR. Whatever happens later on when the devs move on to something else, the gamers and the fans and the people in that following are going to stay there. So they can come up, mess with Gothic remake, and then just move on. But those people that enjoy Gothic are going to remain right there. It's like coming into somebody's house, like messing up their carpet and then leaving. That's what it feels like to most of these gamers. It's like you just came into my house and ruined my carpet and then just left. Meanwhile, I gotta still live in this house. I gotta clean up what you did in my house.
You to fail with the feedback, right? Which is, to me, wild. That's really, really crazy. I don't understand why this community has existed for quite some time.
Exactly. The community has existed for way longer than this development, way longer than Embracer. They have been here day one with Gothic, and of course it got bigger and bigger, but they have always been there. And so when you come in, and here's the funny thing, these gamers, they like everything else in the remake, but they don't like this. And they know exactly why they don't like it. They know why. This is no longer a conspiracy with censorship. You've already said it yourself that this is clearly censorship. It's at this point where these gamers are just done. This is not, you have to realize something, that the developers are temporary and the gamers are forever. I know that you talk to other developers and that's fine, but the gamers are forever. You have to surround yourself with other gamers and realize these are the people that are crazy about some sort. I played other games on my channel and just random people would just who followed this sort of game are just like, bro, you're playing my favorite game. Is this your first time? Man, I can't wait for you to watch it, man. Go over there. There's a sword over there, or there's a shield. Those types of people, like I said, will always be there. And I will never stomp down or belittle the gamer or the consumer at all because they decide none of these corporations or dev teams would even exist without them. And so when I see these developers, I'm like, cool, dude. Don't fuck it up. I have long passed the idea that like, oh man, if you guys don't buy this game, they're going to get laid off. It's not the gamer's problem. You do realize that the gamers will play 2 hours and 30 minutes and then go straight to work, and then they're going to feed their kids, and then their wife is going to be like, did you take out the trash? And then you're going to take out the trash, and then you got to realize that you got to mow the lawn, and then you are trying to play one more bit of your game, but your wife is calling you saying like, yo, let's have sex, and then you're like trying to play a little bit longer, just 10 or 15 minutes longer, and then you get to bed and this bitch is asleep. I'm not projecting. I promise. I promise I'm not projecting. Not projecting in the slightest. But like I said, people have their own lives, and that's the life that they have to live. If I live a life of like, oh, what are the devs doing? Let's talk to the devs, studios, devs, and then the gamers do something, like they say, we don't like this. I can't go over to the gamers and say like, y'all are a problem. You don't want to do that, especially as a YouTube creator. You don't want to do that. No, don't do that. Do not bite the hand that feeds you. Dev teams, content creators, don't do that, because they'll be like, oh, fuck me, and they'll bounce.
Why aren't long-standing members of the community speaking up and saying, hey, can we bring this down some?
There's no sort of leader to any of these communities. There's nothing, there's no coalition where we all just say, brothers of the Warhammer 40k universe, come to me. What is it, brother? Listen, I know there's female custodies, but it's not really that big of a deal. And then all of those individuals are going to be like, yeah, that's a fucking heretic. Get this guy out of here. You see what I'm saying? Where it's just like, we're all individuals in our own right that can speak our mind, and we have our own different opinions. And it's we do not want to play this hush game with gamers. Do not do the hush game with gamers. Do not do it. It just makes them louder.
Y'all are getting out of pocket and wilding out for no reason.
Ooh, you shouldn't have said that, Slandered. Okay.
If you want to see a video about this controversy for someone who is, more involved with the community and actually follows the stuff a lot more, Click for Gameplay is the content creator that I usually go to when I want to know more about Piranha Bytes type stuff, right? And he has a video on this that he put out, I think about a week ago, something like that. And he says that, hey, I feel like this controversy is dumb. But he also says, basically, he feels like devs screwed up. They need to...
Even he agrees with us. Even he agrees. This content creator must have came out and said, listen, this is ridiculous. Listen, everybody, calm down. This is all ridiculous. But where did the titties go? Let's be honest, boys. Let's be... Everybody starts piling up on it. Ah! He's like, listen, everybody calm down. Listen, there's no need for all this ruckus. Where did the titty meat go? I mean, you got us out here trying to have sex with men over here. You see, you got like, yeah, look right there, right there. Let's continue.
fix this. They need to take the original outfits and put them on there. And I believe he also said they should consider making the outfits even more revealing and more sexier than what the original outfits were, to make it completely clear to everybody that they're not beholden to corporate overlords. And I'm like, again, I don't disagree that as it stands now, it comes off as censorship. Where is the message that, yo, y'all are wild and y'all need to chill out?
We should not be trying to chill out the audience that puts food on the table. It won't work. It will never work. You should never do that. Do not do that to your fan base. Do not do that at all. Listen, just listen to them and have a conversation. You don't have to talk to thousands of people, but just say a few questions. Hey, I noticed that a lot of people, here it is, I'm a dev right now. Hey, I noticed that a lot of people are unhappy with the way the sex slaves look. Can you tell us what's the design choice that you would like? Boom, right there. Now, of course, there's gonna be people say big titties. Well, that was in the original. Beautiful face. So that was in the original. Now, if you find that one individual that says like, nah, bro, she's got to have Minecraft shoulders and she's got to have a furry helmet on, get that nigga out of here. He's just playing around. Okay, get that motherfucker out of here. Don't talk to him. But there's going to be individuals that say like, hey, you could like work on this. You could change your hair like this, have a more clear face, and that sort of thing. He's like, and then you have this conversation which is like, oh, you want to have like pretty features and you want us to do like a redesign on these characters. The last thing you want to do is bite the hand that feeds you. It's like, hey, shut the fuck up. And it's like, oh boy, God, oh, here it goes. As a matter of fact, I bet you there's developers at that studio that probably saw the notes that the dev team put and they were like, he shouldn't have put that up there, bro. It's only gonna get bigger.
Doesn't make sense. You're going to destroy one of the few opportunities we could.
We're not going to destroy anything. Anything that happens, anything that they bring to the table is on them. It is on them completely. Completely. And like I said before, the regular normal gamer does not care. They do not care. This is not some sort of, hey, perfect example. I just thought about it. Perfect example. Holy crap, this is a perfect example. You remember this? You remember this? I remember this. We all saw the one on the right, and we were like, what the hell? What? And everybody unanimously was like, back to the drawing board, Dad, back to the drawing board. And you know what they did? They did, okay. And now they make a bunch of money and they're on their fourth or third film right now. Now they're on their third film right now. I think Keanu Reeves' Shadow or something like that. Boom. Success. That, I think it was the cleanest answer to their problems, where they just came out and said, bro, change it. There was no like, I don't know what you guys are trying to talk. If you did that for Sonic, if you did that for Sonic, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, bro, everybody shut up. Everybody be quiet. They would get no money. They would get no dollary dues. But the studio for this said, all right, okay. The biggest one. And do not look at this and be like, that's different. Do not say it's different. Do not say that they were different. Onyx the hemp.
Potentially have to get more games of this type, because let's say it doesn't get changed and the women just stay that way. If the combat is amazing, if the dialogue is amazing,
I bet you Sonic the Hedgehog would be the same movie. It's just that ugly ass Sonic the Hedgehog, or Chronic the Hemp Hog. The Chronic the Hemp Hog. It wouldn't make any money.
if all of those different guilds and all those other aspects of Gothic that supposedly made it such an incredible game are still there, but the women aren't half naked, the 3 or 4 women that are the only women in the entire game, if they're not half naked sex slaves,
well, not half naked, but also they're not attractive. Let's also add with that.
does that really destroy everything? Is it, hey,
It does. It does. It 100% does. They did that with Lara Croft. Where are they? In the trash. They tried to do that with Sonic, and then they changed it. They're making money. If I was working there, I'd be like, okay, all right, let's change them out. Let's change them out. And if anybody has any flack in the team, I'd be like, so you don't want us to change the women? All right, cool. Pack your bags. Yeah, pack your bags. Oh, you're firing me? No, I just fired you. I'm not. There's no firing. I just fired you. I already passed that part. So you should be packing your things up. I even though I would love my dev team, I'd be like, yo, we need to be on the same page here. And it's okay. Ooh, he's not gonna like this one. But I'm gonna say it. So, Slander Gaming, I know he's gonna change it off, and I do have one thing to add. Veilguard. I made a lot of Veilguard videos because I was pissed off about Veilguard. It was trash. But there were a couple of emails that I got from certain developers at BioWare, and they really did not like how they were doing things. I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are out there. They did not like the shift. Now, I'm pretty sure these individuals did not want to reach out and talk to somebody about this with individuals that like the game. They probably were in their head like, bro, I gotta get this off my chest. There must be somebody else that also doesn't like what we're making here for Veilguard. They came to me, a little old channel like me, and said, man, you're absolutely 100% correct. I'm gonna be watching your channel from now on. Man, I used to love this company. I don't know what's going on. It's like it's horrible. I liked what we did back then. All these sort of things, and I felt for this person. I was about to say, you know, he or she, but I felt for this person. And that's where you know that it's not every developer, of course not, but somebody higher up is saying, stick with this, and whatever they say, fuck them. Because I guarantee you, any developer that tries to hush their audience, any developer that does this for some sort of DEI initiative or ESG score for investors, not the gamer, they're focused on something else besides the gamer, you gotta write them off. You gotta write them off, because it's the only way. There are only a couple of ways that you could deal with children. You either give them the belt or you don't. It's like, hey, they don't want to listen to us. Okay, all right, well, give them the belt, and then yeah, And once they get the belt, maybe they'll understand. I know I'm being a little harsh. Some of you people don't like doing the whole belt thing. Me, I'm a belt connoisseur. But basically what I'm saying is you have to lead by example for your own customer and try to lead them, and you can't just come out and say, oh, we did this for the community. The community talked to you and then you ignored them and you called them toxic. Bethesda talking about the community, but how are they doing right now with the whole anniversary Fallout 4 thing? They don't care about the community. There's a lot of pretenders out there. There's a lot of pretenders. You got it. You have to realize at this moment, there are some developers that actually care for their gamers, and there are pretenders. It's either one of the two. There's either pretenders or developers. There's either one of the two. You can't be both. Anyway, I just wanted to inform. I know this is a little bit long. I probably made this a little too long, but I'm gonna end it here. I hope this reaches out. I hope I wasn't mean or anything like that. But yeah, I'm super excited about Tim Kaine joining Obsidian. Hopefully things will get better with Obsidian. I saw that video, but yeah, it's a good video.